Hey, what's up? I'm Rashad Antonio, OG, of course, and this is the MCU Collective Secret Invasion, Episode 3 Betrayal. Such an aptly named episode today.
Yes.
All spoilers. Gotta talk about a thing to talk about a thing. And we hadn't talked about this at all, like legitimately. What's your initial impressions?
As you said, this episode name is very, let's say, apropos because it was a betrayal all the way around. It's Fury saw his wife. That's still that's still a mind blower right there. Oh, not to mention it seems like his name is even Nick Fury. His real name is Terry, apparently, because did you hear what she said that she called him Terry? On top of that,
Unless
um,
that's like his middle name or something.
right, Nicholas Terry Fury. I don't know, man, because I heard that and I said, hold on, I had to rewind that back like 3, 4 times to make sure I heard that properly. So yeah, I guess that's the name or pet name or whatever for him. So you got that going on, and it it was a lot, but it seemed like the episode wasn't that long.
Nah, it was 44 minutes.
Right, exactly. So yeah. So one thing that I do appreciate about this show is that they've each episode, so for all 3 episodes, have given us a flashback to fill in certain things.
Mm-hmm. You sure
The
did.
first flashback, the first flashback was kind of like was in the first episode was basically like the recap showing what happened in 95 after during the events of Captain Marvel and all that stuff. Then last episode's recap was in 1997 when the Fury was basically got the scrolls, the 19 or so, as Talos says later on the thing, to be his spy network on
Yeah.
Earth. And then this episode, it it started off with a flashback to a year after that,
So 98 New
where
York.
Fear 98 in New York, where Fury is at a cafe, like he's meeting someone, and someone's like, "Yo, you waiting for somebody?" And he was like, "Yeah." And she was like, "You know what she looked like?" He was like, "It depends what day of the week it is." And then he was like, "Well, have a seat with me." And he looked at her, and he's like, "Zaina, is that Zara, whatever her name is?" He's like, "That's you?" And then she just started smiling. He was like, "Do you like this face I got?" He was like,
He's like, hell
"Yeah,
yeah.
hell yeah, hell yeah, girl." You know what I'm saying? You chose to be a sister. Fine with it, that. What's up? And, they, had a little conversation and boom. And that's where, saying it, the show picks up and starts from that point. First initial, like I said, is Betrayal seems to be all the way around because he starts questioning her. Like, it looks like they had a fun night, to say
Yeah,
the
yeah,
least.
yeah, yeah. I'm
A,
saying.
a fun a fun night reunion, and let's just go ahead and say it. And people wondering like, well, does he know his wife is a scroll and everything? Yeah, come on, man. Yeah,
That
he
was,
knows.
you know what, like Tony, that was my betrayal, and it wasn't from me. It was from our audience who chimed in on the social media. It's like, wow, like I'm like, come on, dog. Like, let's just logically think about this. Why would he not know? And he does know. So I don't want to say I
Yeah,
told you so, but I tried to tell
but
y'all. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm
yeah,
gonna say. Yeah, go ahead.
yeah. So he knew that his wife was a scroll, and they're talking, and at first, while they was before this conversation started, I said, okay, did he marry her just to be close to what I'm saying, the scroll, so he can get intel and
Dang,
stuff
that
like
would be
right.
crazy.
That's one thing I was thinking. Still kind of thinking that right now, but she showed that she really cared about this man or whatever, because she was like, "What brought you back? Where you been all this time?" type thing. And he was like, "Yo, I'm Nick." She says, "Look, I know who I married. I know I married Nick Fury." Blah blah. Saying this is the second time you've done this to me. The first time, was we got blipped away. The
Yeah,
Thanos snap. She was like, "Yo, I grieved for you. You was gone for five. What it was 5 years. They was gone
5 years.
from the blip." She was like, I grieved for you and everything like that. And then you came back in my life. She said, but but you know what I'm saying, you came back, but you weren't back. And that was kind of like, what everyone has said in every episode as well. You know what I'm saying? On top of, people questioning whether or not Nick Fury still got that dog in him or whatever. Everybody keeps saying, yo, you after the blip, you haven't been the same Nick Fury. A part of you didn't, come back. And when she was like, what made you come back home and stuff like that, he was like, yeah, retirement, because apparently Rhodey retired him.
Yeah.
And then she was like, so what do you do with your time? He was like, well, I'm not much of a golfer. He said, revenge sounds about nice. I said, yo,
revenge is crazy.
Revenge sounds about nice. I said, good God Almighty. I said, Nick Fury been listening to Tupac, Hail Mary. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He's like talking to her, and he's like, so I just want to know, like, he's trying to see whether or not she's flipped and become one of Gravik's, Team Gravik. And she's like, yo, you want to know who I am? She's like, but you left when you came back. And I am who I am, and I did what I did. And I became the person. She says, I went back to being the person I was before we met. And she basically told him that. And he was like, oh, okay.
Oh.
All right, bet. All right, bet, type thing. And that was like and looking at it, that was kind of like a real husband and wife argument. I'm not married. Rashad is married or whatever. But
nah, that was very accurate. That's one of those, you got to sit down, have a quote unquote come to Jesus meeting about some
moment.
things,
Yep.
and they be like, yo, okay, I'm not really feeling this. Well, I ain't feeling this, but this is where I am right now. And this is who I am today. And I think, so a lot of this for me, as you were talking, I was trying to figure out what's one of the main themes is around this show, other than the obvious things. And the theme that keeps coming up with Nick Fury is this notion of abandonment. And the fact that everybody feels that Nick left them personally. You know what I'm saying? From Maria to his wife to Talos to all the other
Gravik
scrolls, Gravik. You know what I'm saying? Everybody feels like Nick left them personally. So that just goes to show you just how big of an influence that he had on the greater MCU that we didn't even know. And I think that he really didn't know, or either that or he took for granted, because now he's having to deal with the repercussions of leaving and not basically just ghosting like the world.
Right.
So
and like you were saying with, not repercussions, the scrolls seem to have taken it very hard. And I think I think too, you look at it, they basically ingratiated him into their society, into their lifestyle. When he meets the scrolls, he does the skull greeting, the forehead touch, and everything. So he knows about them. He knows, what I'm saying. He, for example, is basically like a cousin to the scrolls. I said it on after the first episode. This kind of gives me Enemy Mine vibes, the movie with Dennis Quaid and Lou Gossett, Lou Gossett Jr., where they like, and that movie, like I said, you got to see, it's really good. They were warring factions, hated each other, crash land on the planet together. They had to learn how to live together. He was kind of the bridge between they felt that he could be the bridge between humans and scrolls.
The next betrayal has to come with Gaia and Gravik, because now we really see that Gaia really has been the mole, like for real, for real. You know what I'm saying? They laid it out very plain. You can kind of surmise that last two episodes, but this episode, we see her given the text to basically is going to be to her dad Talos about the strike on the UN plane, which is crazy. You're going to use a British sub,
bruh.
To fire down a missile on a UN convoy plane.
If you want to start World War III, that is how you daggone start World War III.
And that's what they really want to do, because we see Gravik and Guy are talking, he's like, he knows what's up. He already know. But like her response to him was basically a tell in and of itself. he was like, "Yo, so how did old boy like he is no way that he could have told us that and told or tipped them off about the safe house." And
Mm-hmm.
she was like, "Man, he probably just guessed at that joint." And he said, "Well, what would you do?" She said, "I'd have lied. I'm great at lying."
Mm-hmm.
He was
And
like,
you saw him just look at her like, yeah, it's your ass.
"Like you suck at lying." You
Yeah.
know? So
You're horrible at it.
yeah, so then they go and they meet at the at the this like museum slash restaurant type
Mm-hmm.
get up. I love this scene. This is the scene from all the trailers, by the way, when you see like the
Mm-hmm.
mini graphics.
Yeah.
And Gravik is so dead set on what he wants to do. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I like
And
that. Go
and I
ahead.
mean to interrupt you, I'm sorry. What's going on is that I forgot to mention this. You see three scrolls from Gravik's little
Oh
commune.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Their
yeah.
job is to infiltrate that sub and be that sub that shoots it down. And you see that one of the scrolls as a part of it is the black scroll
Yeah, that they just
Kira
recruited. Yeah.
that just
Beto.
recruited. Yeah, I just wanted to make that. Yeah, Beto. Beta.
Yeah,
He's a
yeah.
beta male. Let me stop.
Wow.
I just wanted to bring that in. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say
Yeah. Anyway,
that.
so they're at this, so they're talking, and
Mm-hmm.
the thing that Gravik says that was the most poignant was he said, "Look at these men up here in this picture. They came here to took all this time to gather all these men together just to daggone paint this picture,
World War
which is
One.
very true." You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? Because there was on camera, so they had to paint it, so they had to be there to
Mm-hmm.
be for it to be painted. And he was like, "Man, I don't want my basically my life to be oil and and paint. I want it to be written in blood." It's like
What my man said last episode? War! War! He was so amped.
yo, yeah, Gravik out here trying to get it back in blood. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right, for
So,
real. For real.
and the funny thing, he was like, "Man, oh, you want to parlay?" I love how he says parlays because it's in parlay.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So they go
Yeah.
talk, and he basically told Talos, "Yo, you soft." You know what I'm saying? I don't know what you
Right.
doing here. Not only that, I got your daughter. You know what I'm saying?
And we saw Tyler's had
Yeah,
still got we had Tyler's got that dog in
oh
him.
yeah, yeah. He said the first time, he's like, he restrained himself. You know what I'm saying? Then everybody
Yeah.
changed with,
Uh-huh.
with like the awesome trailer moment. But then at the
Uh-huh.
end, he was like, he said he mentioned his name again. He hit him with the daggone, hold on. With your he hit him with a Nino Brown from New Jack
You know?
City when he put that what was oh man, what was Christopher Williams' character name in the movie?
all we Kareem's son, but he was known as the pretty motherfucker from the bank. That's what he was.
Never
I think
liked
it's
your ass
Kareem
anyway.
Akbar, but he was the pretty motherfucker from the bank. That's what he was. Whatever. He also hit him. He hit him with the Nino Brown, and he also hit him with the Oberyn Martell in the brothel when you first see him on Game of Thrones. I hate Lannisters.
Yeah,
But I
definitely,
just want so
definitely.
I just want to say something. The guy that's playing Gravik, I had to look his name up because I kept saying, "Yo, where have I seen him from?" Kingsley Benadair. He is acting his tail off in this, and then I
Uh-huh.
realized, looking like I know I've seen this cat somewhere before. He was in that movie that was on Amazon Prime, One Night in Miami, and he was the guy that played Malcolm X.
Oh,
He's the guy that played
okay.
Malcolm X, and it's crazy because after this he has so much other stuff coming up. He's gonna play Bob Marley in a biopic coming up and stuff. So yeah, I just want to give him credit because my man really did, and he's gonna be in Barbie as one of the Kens. It's just hilarious to me, and
Hey
it
man,
is
get that
so
work, yo. Simu Lou's
get
gonna be in
that
that
work.
joint too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah, yeah. A lot of people gonna be
so
in there. So yeah,
yeah. So but
and
you saw
then
it though.
the reveal that your boy
Uh huh.
got that extremis in his veins, boy. I said,
Yeah.
okay, graphic already
Mm-hmm.
super.
Mm-hmm. Super, yeah, yeah. He already super scroll because they also show early in the episode too, where
The
the scroll
council.
council came to the base, and he basically was like, "Yeah, y'all want to know what I had for like, you know, what I'm saying Earth heroes or whatever." She was like, he was like, "Yeah." super scrolls or whatnot.
He said
But
we
I
all gonna be
also
super.
right, but I also like what Tilo said too when he told him he was like, "Stop acting like you know humans, man. You don't know." He was like, "Do you know they are more dangerous when they are backed into a corner or they feel threatened?" And it's so, and like I said, it's one of those things because this is a callback to the post credit scene of the first Avengers movie, where the that dude was telling Thanos, we didn't know it was Thanos, and us like, hey, going after these folk is court and death itself. You know what I'm saying? Basically, like, yo, humans,
Yeah,
we, you know what I'm
yeah.
saying? Like, hey, we may not be strong, this and that, but we have one thing that, you know what I'm saying, in these movies and stuff that most of these is will. Our will is hard to break. And you know what I'm saying? We are some defined things and whatnot. So yeah.
Yeah,
So
that was real. That's a real good point he made. He said basically, like, you don't understand. Like these people will band together around a common cause and just go crazy like you've never
mm-hmm.
seen before.
Yeah.
And the sad part is like Gravik really he's counting on everybody just losing it and the world
Mm-hmm.
exploding, World War III happening, and
Mm-hmm.
then they just
Right.
from the remnants of the earth that they'll take it over and restart.
It, and Telos is like, yo, for real, keep playing. I'm a snitch. I'm telling everything. I'm telling who was scroll. He says, I am telling. He did it. Your honor, he
Yo,
did it. He did
he out here
it.
sounding like Denzel on Training Day. I'm putting
Right.
cases.
Jesus. Oh. No, what's the Jake? Bernie back from Def Comedy Jam. What's your name? Punk. He did it. He did something. I ain't no punk because I'm going to jail. You think I'm going to jail for somebody? He did it, Your Honor. He did it. So,
Now Tyler said, "Yo,
Dilla
man, I
said,
like my people. Yo, I'm trying to stay here. They ain't gonna mess around. Find
yeah,
out I'm a scroll and kill me just off GP. You know what I'm saying?
right. He said, I'm gonna let them know that it is complete. We are different. One is not like the other. Simple as that, you know.
For real.
so so then he leaves the museum and like this old guy bumps into him. You hear something fall, and he's like, "Oh, I think this is yours." We pretty much figure out that that's Kira giving him some type of phone or something, I guess, to keep getting contact. And he's walking away. Gravik comes out and sees this old man and is looking like, hold the hell on. And he kind of gets blocked off from a van. And then you see Kira waiting outside the car. But also, you actually see the old man walking away. So I don't know if this is a scroll situation
I
or
think that
if
that's just
Telos.
I think nah, it could be. Either
Uh-huh.
way, like there's some definite trickery going on here, y'all.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's not the first time it happens this episode. I mean,
Right.
that's the first time it happens again too, like towards the end. Then like I'm
Right.
not really sure if that's a person, that's a scroll. Like it's a whole lot
Right.
of misdirect
Because
going
I
on
was
here.
like, is that somebody Kira got to do that so she could be caught? Or
That's what I'm
was that
saying.
Kira
Like
herself? Or was that like after picking up the phone, went behind the van, Kira turned back to herself and her dad turned into, you know what I'm saying?
so many
It's
questions. Or
in the
is that
words
just
of the
a
great John Witherspoon, there was some flip flops.
or was that just the old man the whole time?
Right,
You know what I'm
right. You
saying? Like you
know,
just don't. It's
yeah.
such a well choreographed scene. Like you just don't know.
So what do we get after that? You
The
see Telos
pub,
is at a bar, the pub, the British pub, you know, eating some breakfast or whatnot.
eating a
And
British breakfast. You know what I'm
British
saying?
and I
Disgusting.
just love Nick. Listen, my two our British viewers, man, y'all listen. I know y'all probably look at some stuff that we eat and be like, "What the hell?" I'm looking at some of the stuff y'all eat and be like, "What the hell?" as well, you know. But hey, we're all here. But you see, Nick Fury comes in and he sits. He's like, "You eating that dog food?" The Taylor looks at him and is like, "Yo, this is the first time I lost my appetite. Like, you straight up made me lose my appetite." And he was like, "Really?" He was like, "You just after what you said to me yesterday, you think you can just dangle come and get me to do something?" He was like, "I don't want you to do nothing." He was like, "Come on, bro. You always need me to do something. You need my help for something." And he's just like, I mean, yeah, you know. And he's just like, come on, just say it, man. Just say it. I need you. There's no, you're the only one that can help me out in this situation.
Nah, the funny thing, he was like, "Oh, come on, mate, use your words."
Use your word. Effective communication. When them two are together, it is a straight up buddy cop movie,
It
man.
is.
It's a very buddy copish show. So, you know, they get in the car and Fury basically tells him, like, hey, bro, my operative, you know, saying I got a spy intel that tells me that there's a scroll in some type of position here in UK. And the thing is, they never really say who told him that, you know, who, but he knows that there's at a position in UK and something's about to go down. What? I don't know, or whatever. And he was like, well, what do you got? He was like, oh, he says, well, let me make a he was like, well, let me make a phone call. And he calls the chick that's in charge of
Sonya
MI6.
Fallsworth.
Sonya Fallsworth, which is MI6. And she's like, you're not supposed to, she says, whoever this is not supposed to, hey girl, what's going on, man? It's your old boy Nikki. And she's like, look here, I got my own problems to worry about. So she's like, look, hey man, somebody about to do something with the UN. You might. And she's like, look, I need to find out who my mole is, who told where butcher shop where she
Yeah.
tortured the scroll or whatever. And she was like, look, you might want to look into this guy. You know, it's a guy who's a captain in the British Royal Navy or whatever.
Robert Fairbanks.
Robert Fairbanks, which is possibly the whitest name that you can have. White. Robert Fairbanks. Oh my God.
Yeah, they started calling that man Bob after the fact.
Yeah, right. This completely was like, hey man, we got to get Bob. It's like, they get the information, so they're on their way to Bob's house. And then Talos is just like basically going off on Nick. He really let him know like how hurt he was. Like, hey man, I was there with you, you know, saying back, he was 19 of us. We was there. We became, he said, we the reason that you moved up the rank. We the reason this, he said, you was a nobody at Shield. What he call him? He was like basically he was just like, you was a desk jockey just about at Shield. You won't do that until you hired us to be your intel, bro. And then you moved up the rank. And then he was just like, he's like, you know, he says, I didn't even want to thank you or anything. I just wanted to do it for you because, you know, you was my friend. He was like,
it was my pleasure. You know what I'm saying?
It was my pleasure to do that. Yeah, he was going and like, he was in his bag. He was just going in and Nick Fury sat there. And then he found, why we stopped the car? Yeah, we at Bob's house, man. We here. And, you know, it's just one of those things where Nick Fury is starting to get to the repercussions of the fact that as much as people do love him, he is a user as well. And I mean, that's his job. I mean,
number one.
Yeah, that's his job. Number one, that's his job. He's a user. Nick Fury is all about protecting civilization and, you know what I'm saying, and the earth. He even made that clear in the first Avengers movie when, you know, after Captain America found out that they had all this tech and stuff they got from, you know what I'm saying, from using the Tesseract and stuff over the years or whatever. And he's like, hey man, he was like, yeah, I did it. He said, you don't know why? Because of people like him. And he pointed to Thor. He said, yeah, we realized that we were not equipped to handle anything that came our way from up there. You know what I'm saying? And with that also sparked the thought in Tony Stark's head as well of when he said he wanted to put an iron curtain around the planet or whatever. But yeah, I mean, Nick Fury is all about the job and preservation of humanity over everything first, and he's unapologetic about it. He's like, I'm sorry, that's how you feel, but that's why I'm Nick Fury and you're not. Yeah. Basically.
And so this like next scene is essentially super tense, and I like how they build it up. I also appreciate how their conflict is still in play. You know what I'm saying? Because they're still like mad at each other, and then they're going on this mission together, and he's still pissy. Like even if Paul, he was like, "Yeah, my cover's blown." He's like, "Yeah, okay, yeah, I see that." You know what I'm saying? And then going up the steps, he said, "Oh yeah, I found." He said, "Where are you?" "Oh yeah, I found Bob." Yo,
he says, "I found Bob, Nick." He said, "I found Bob, Nick. Come on." He says, "Come on up to the second floor." Nick Fury came up in there and was like, yeah, don't nobody call me Nick, yo. He had my man's son in the head with a gun to his head. It was like, hey, and he was like, let my son go. He was like, yeah, no, I'm not gonna do that. Because that's not his son. So, they sit there and the kid don't even know that's not his father either. He thinks that's his father. He doesn't know that's a scroll. He was like, you're gonna kill my dad. And he was like, yeah, he'll be all right. Taylor's trying to give him a glass of water, calm down. And you basically see on the screen the UN flight on a map and the sub, the British sub coming through. And you see that the spies are inside the sub. And they're like, yo, these are our orders. And one dude who's not a scroll is like, hey, yo, are you fucking like, he's like, are you effing serious? Like,
he's like, yo,
yo,
like, he's like, can I speak to somebody else about this? Because
yeah, he can't talk to somebody else about it. He said, my man was like, you see the orders, don't you? He was like, no, hold on, man. Like, it says it clear as day up there.
Yeah.
Shoot UN like plane or whatever.
That's like, that was Gravik's right hand man on that joint, right?
Yeah, uh-huh.
Yeah. So he gonna be super aggressive anyway. Cause he's all in.
He was like, hey, you see what the order is? We just do what the order is. He was like, yeah, I know that's the order, man, but really? This is what we about? You're like, really? This is what we about to do? And so it becomes a battle of time there of them trying to
definitely a ticking clock.
Nick Fury is like, hey man, just turn this mofo and dang on give the codes. And he said, give the order. He was like, yeah, I don't have the codes for this. And he was like, hey man, you better start giving us the code or it's gonna be a problem. And then he ends up shooting the dude in the kneecap. And he's like, and he was like, hold on, man, no, we got this. He says, we got this. And then he's like, hey man, come on. He's trying to, Telos is trying to reason with him because the dude is a scroll and he really doesn't want to have to kill one of his own. That's what I'm getting from this.
He's like, not even that, but again, this theme of abandonment comes up again because dude was like, yo, you left, man. And you left this power vacuum. That's what happens. And Gravik was more than willing to set up a partnership with you. And you was like, nah. He said it's too late.
What happened to the great general of the scrolls? Because Telos was the
Talos. I did reveal that Talos was the general. Did not. Right. That's new information, right?
Right. That's new information. Yeah. We didn't know he was the general of it. And so Talos basically was like, and so when the dude said something about Talos's daughter, Talos, that's his weak spot. He snapped again. Pop, put right in the guy's chest and killed him. And then Fury looked at him like, hey man, we run against the clock here, and all you see is the getting closer and closer. You see the guys on the sub start to initiate things, and then this is when I was like, okay, so Telos might be some trash too as well because he knows about maybe I don't know if he's a part of this or what I'm saying, maybe started off a part of this or whatever. So he goes in the other room. He calls Kira, and he's like, hey, you need to go find Fairbanks and get the information. And she basically blows her cover, goes in there, takes out two guards, and goes into the room that all of the, I guess,
humans are
familiars, the humans are, whatever.
Yeah.
And you see all the United Nations folks that's been captured, and they sitting there, they sitting there like a suspended animation. And there goes Fairbanks, and Kira goes through his mind, searching. And then she finally finds the codes, give it to Telos. Telos gets on the phone, gives the order in Fairbanks' voice, gives the code. And then before he even did that, he says, get out of there, run right now. So that goes to show you that Kira and Telos have been working together the whole time. He was just she was the mole and making it seem like she wasn't down and everything. And then on top of that, I'm wondering if Telos even knew about the, or else maybe she told him about the, the people being the suspended animation.
Yeah.
So you see, she's trying to escape. She leaves. She gets her motorcycle. Next thing you know, she gets blinded by the lights. Shout out the Weekend. And the Weekend, Gravik gets out the car and he's like, hey man. He was like, where the hell you think you going or whatever? She's like, oh, I heard we got aborted. I was going to see what's going on. He was like, yeah, it was supposed to get like that. I just need to find out who the mole was. And then she looked at him and she basically eyeballed him down. And he shot her. My next question is she dead?
Is she dead? I'm going to say no because it's Emilia Clarke. Other than that, she should be. Because you
She should,
definitely,
right.
and so unless someone comes through and like picks her up, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
She should definitely be there. It'd be very ballsy of Marvel to kill off one
Mm-hmm.
of their main named stars of a show in the third episode. Like,
Yeah.
if they did that, I'd be
Yeah.
kudos to them. You know what I'm saying? I'm not
Yeah.
sure if
That's
Emilia Clarke had something else to do, so she had to make an early
right.
exit. But other than that, like, she's
Unless she had a bounce to go start working on snow or something. Your face, man.
so pointless, man. She's dead in the
Right.
show.
Hey man, we've seen weirder stuff. Anyway, yeah, but yeah, we don't know if Kira's dead, and basically the show fades to black. And I was like, well,
Great episode, man. We almost forgot one
mm-hmm.
thing, and that
What's
is
that?
Fury's wife. So we see Fury's
Yes.
wife, you know what I'm
She gets a phone
saying?
call.
Grabs gets a
Mm-hmm.
phone call. Yeah, I'm on the way. Gets out of the house, goes to the train station. This is random dude staring her down at the train station. I wonder who that
Mm-hmm.
dude was in the background.
Mm-hmm.
Gets on the train. I don't know what city she's in, but she goes to a bank. There's like a huge safe deposit. And
Mm-hmm.
dude comes through. He's like, all right. He said, she's looking at him like, I need you to leave. He's like, I'll give you a minute.
Yeah.
Pulls out the fresh gun.
Mm-hmm.
Phone call is Gravik second in charge. So, he got off the submarine in one piece. She's like, yo, I need to speak to Gravik. He's like, man, well, you dealing with me, so nah.
Nah.
And that's how that joint in. You know what I'm saying? So we see
Yeah.
that Nick Fury's wife told him the truth. I went back to my old ways before you
Yep.
met me. You know what I'm saying? Which is just being
Mm-hmm.
all about the scrolls. And these last three episodes, man, are going to be really interesting to see where they take this and how they wrap the
Yes.
story up.
Right, because we got to find out where allegiances lie. We're gonna
Uh-huh.
probably find out some more who scrolls are,
Uh-huh.
and then we've seen the trailers, and of course every time they do trailer, some things are different, but we're eventually going to see when Nick Fury saddles back up again or
Yeah,
whatever,
and
and
and we're and we're also gonna see the president and his American president. Why is this all barking? And their whole envoy get attacked. So
yeah.
a lot of
Are
stuff
you a
still going
scroll,
on.
Rashad? See that green back there behind you? Are you a scroll, Rashad? I'm
Hey
just
man,
trying
it goes with the
to.
motif. You know what I'm
I know.
saying? It's probably a scroll at the door. That's why the stupid dog is barking.
Dog's
But yeah,
barking.
that's it for this one, man. We appreciate you guys. Oh yeah, we over 1100 on YouTube now. So just
Let's
thanks for
go.
that. Almost
Mm-hmm.
at 500 on IG. I don't know what y'all waiting for.
Right.
yo, IG is popping right
Right.
now. Y'all might as well get on so we
Yeah.
get to 1K. We need to get
Yeah.
some sponsorships. People
Yeah.
recognize us and give us money for doing this.
So,
Anyway,
right.
that's it for until next week, unless something pops up. No, I don't know about. Does this? I feel like does a movie come out or something? Oh
Yeah.
yeah, it
Oppenheimer
does.
in 2 weeks.
Mission Impossible is next week. Yeah,
You want to talk about?
I'm gonna say I'm gonna see that on Wednesday because it comes out July
Me.
12th.
You
Yeah.
know what? Yeah, I'll see that before I come down for your
Yeah,
event,
and I'm
sir.
about to say definitely gonna see that because like Thursday, Friday, I ain't gonna have no time. So well, Friday, I ain't gonna have no time. So definitely
Yeah.
we're gonna watch that Wednesday, talk about it
Mm-hmm.
Thursday. That'd be the last thing we do until the
Yeah.
following week, man. But yeah, that's all we got for this time. Make sure that you like y'all share and subscribe, man. Like it with the people. All right. Till next time.
Oh yes. Peace out, y'all.